Recording. Now we're in theory live. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the Ren live stream sort of chat Q&A thing. We haven't done one of these since we did our live launch of the Kickstarter. God, about 2 years ago. So I thought it would be a nice opportunity, since lots of us got together today, to get some photos taken and do some interviews. So now that I've nabbed them all, I thought I'd get them to say hi, basically. So hi.
So hi.
By the way, if you are online and watching this, then in theory our chat room is open. Hopefully, so chat away. But also tweet us. We're using the hashtag RenLive. So tweet us a question if you have one, or just say hi. And yeah, and on the Facebook, if you put questions on there, in theory we'll find them and we will answer them there as well. So how about we everyone's on their phones.
Everyone's getting messages.
They're interested.
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, these young people.
But why don't we start on this end and introduce ourselves?
Hello, I'm Duran, and I play Hunter in the series. Is that enough introduction?
I guess, yes.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I play Dahlia in the series.
Hello, I'm Sophie, and I play Ren in the series.
Sorry, I'm so like, is it all working? Oh my god, I don't know. My name is Kate, and I do a lot of hats, but essentially I'm the director of the series and co-creator with this guy.
Yeah, my name's Chris, co-creator, and playing the character Khan.
Yeah.
I haven't met yet.
No, I know. It's probably hard for you guys to actually come up with any questions, because you probably have so many questions, which is, what is Ren? What is it? When is it coming out? I don't know any of this. We have been adding behind the scenes videos to the Mythica channel for a while now, and we are going to continue to do that right up into the launch. Every Thursday you'll get a new behind the scenes video, and we'll also introduce new trailers and character trailers and things, and maybe some other stuff we've been thinking about doing as teasers for the show, but we'll see. But yeah, why don't we talk, what do you want to talk about today? Because you know what happened today, and that's easy.
Today was super fun.
You're still covered in dirt, aren't you?
Yeah. Today we mainly concentrated on some publicity stills, and we also covered some interviews that unfortunately we didn't get whilst we were filming. For myself, today was one of those challenging days. Being on set can be challenging, but in a different way. I think speaking and being interviewed is very different from performing or working, where you have a set dialogue, monologue, whatever is going on. You have a real idea of, what you're doing. Being interviewed, you're asked random questions.
You never know what's going to come up.
This is the thing. So yeah.
Especially when you prepare the questions sometimes beforehand, and then Kate says, "So I'm going to go off book now." And
I can help. It's like, say that. That will help.
no, I'll bring it.
We haven't got a question, but we've got a hello from James Bailey. So
Hi,
James.
James.
Hi, James
Thanks
Bailey.
for watching. It's very nice. This is we're trying this out, and who knows. So yeah, we'll hopefully do more of these if we can. But yeah, carry on. What did you do today? You're still covered in dirt.
I had a wonderful day today. No, I think Duran is sort of right, as in we all sort of dressed up in our character costumes because we're doing these stills for the publicity stuff and posters and all that sort of thing. So in a way, you're the character, but then you sit down and you do an interview and you're asked questions kind of not as the characters. You're completely in your costume, and then you're answering questions about yourself basically, and talking about the shoot, and for some people, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's quite a while since we finished,
Yeah.
so to be back in the costumes, thankfully we all fit. No,
After Christmas and
oh my
New
God.
Year. Yeah, that's
But
a good
I will
point.
tell you, whilst you're watching this, the smell of pizza is
Oh my
drifting
God.
in.
I know, we haven't
We're
really
waiting.
are desperate for food, and it's all just out of reach. But yeah, that's the thing. I sort of messed you all up today because we finished filming back in November when it was getting really cold, and now we're in March, which is kind of crazy.
Still cold.
It is still cold.
Yeah.
That is true. That nothing has changed. This is the UK. And so like you I haven't seen you since the
we
shoot.
finished.
We've stopped that, and then I think I met up with you guys in London randomly.
Randomly, as London's so small.
London's tiny and there's nobody there, so clearly you just walk in the street. Yeah, like actors everywhere.
London is a small place,
It's-
really.
yeah.
So,
But it was kind of nice to get together and do some stuff again.
It was weird wearing the costumes and not being on set and being in.
That must. Was that
sterile
frustrating?
environment.
Was it frustrating? Because I would have probably found it like, okay, I'm ready. Let's.
Where's the
We're just sitting here.
Yeah, the set was amazing for Ren. Incredible set.
It was
Yeah.
it was different standing and being inside with your costume on, at least for me, because most of my scenes
We're outside.
were outside, and even when we did some interiors, it was in a big warehouse,
Yeah.
which was cold and felt somewhat like it was outside. This was a nice little studio and quite quaint and has all the features you
Very
you'd
warm.
expect.
Yeah, with a heater.
Extremely warm.
Everyone
was
kept
actually-
walking in, going, "Oh, it's toasty in here." Yes.
We're
We're making up
You're
for
like,
lost time.
It's warm.
I don't need that coat.
Yeah, where are your thermals now?
But the day went really quickly, as ever with Ren. It was sort of a typical day. We had such a plan of everything we wanted to do.
And then it was like,
we didn't get through all, So,
yeah.
Oh, well.
It was fun.
How's the questions?
Yeah.
Have we got any
Just my phone is being incredibly slow and running out of battery.
Where
so
are the
we're
questions?
doing
Are they on
good.
Twitter?
Yeah, there's
Should be on
some
Twitter,
hashtags coming in on Twitter. I'm just
Let's have a
seeing. There is a question I can't quite read it yet. The Forge Studio. Oh, hi guys. I can't read. Oh, there we go. It says, can't wait for the series. How is post-production going? Any timeline yet? Okay. So yeah, I knew that question would come up, which is when is it out? Which is basically that question. Post-production is going really well. The edit is basically done. So we are tweaking still, but we have the whole cut of the whole show. It's you didn't ask this, but it's changed slightly since what we thought we were going to do, which was 6 10-minute episodes, because in the writing of it and as we started filming it and things, it was actually working into really nicely into 5 kind of 10-minute episodes. So I hope you guys don't feel shortchanged by that, but it leaves you in a nice cliffhanger at least, because yeah, we had a really nice ending. Basically, the first season takes place in one day, and it sort of ended at the end of that day. And we could have tried sort of crowbarring more stuff in or putting an extra episode on the end, and it just didn't feel right because I think where it ends now, hopefully you'll agree, ends in a really nice place that leaves you all going, okay, I'm desperate for season 2, let's do this. But not in a way that hopefully leaves you really frustrated either. It's that sort of like, oh my god, that was awesome, let's go. So that's the current thing. Oh, we have stuff.
We got one from
Lydia K.
Lydia. Oh, hi
What
Lydia.
has been your funniest
Ooh,
on-set
that's a good
moment so
question.
far? And will
Will
there be a blooper reel?
I think yes.
There should be a blooper reel.
Neil, who is just off camera over there hiding, he has been working hard with loads of those behind the scenes videos that are the public ones, and if you're a Kickstarter backer, all of the behind the scenes Kickstarter videos as well. And so yes, I think he's already been putting things into a blooper reel folder, so there's a decent amount of stuff, I think. Yes, he's nodding, he's nodding, he's not speaking, he's nodding.
Funniest moments on set.
Lydia asked
Yeah.
about the funniest moment.
Go for
Possibly when the set started to blow down mid
God.
shoot.
Was that funny? That was terrifying.
It was okay. The
With
set
you
was
tied
fine,
to the
so it
set,
was quite
going,
funny.
if any of these fly off and hit Sophie.
Or possibly when, should we about Tony the
Surely Tony the
Tony
Pony.
the Pony.
No.
That's two Tonys on set. We had Tony the Pony.
Yes, which decided to collapse slightly whilst we were
Oh, I
riding
forgot
away.
about that. Yeah.
So vigorously riding it.
And yeah, it
Yeah.
sort of gave way. And but there was we had a real horse as well, which was a little bit
Which
scared
gave
of
way a
everyone
few
and
times
everything,
on
which
me.
gave way with Duran on it. So we didn't have a very good day. That day. But yeah,
That was
the
your
other
last
Tony,
day
yeah,
of
it
Tony the
was.
Pony.
That was the last. It was the last thing we shot actually.
And we also had Tony too, who was trout. Although there were many Tonys throughout Ren, we had
Many
probably about
trouts.
6, many trouts. And I think the first one we realised we kept too long in the fridge because it was starting to get a bit smelly.
Slight, yeah,
Slightly.
Cool.
But thanks, Lydia.
Any other funny
Yeah.
moments? That
I'm not sure if mine. It was probably more funny for everybody else at the time, and when I look back at it, it'll probably be more amusing. And hello, Anthony. I know you're watching.
Shout out.
Yeah, he tweeted. He just, everyone check it out. So give him a shout out and
Yeah,
say thank you for
thank
the
you.
support. There's a scene in Ren where Hunter is surprised or shocked, shall we say?
There'll be a whole
And-
blooper reel of this one.
Yeah, shock face.
And then, believe it or not, shocked is. There's an array of things that I can potentially do, hopefully convincingly. Shocked is not one of them, really. Not on cue like that, anyway. So I was really trying to find, in the depths of my soul and sanity, this shocked moment, and
That was it.
it wasn't happening.
Give yourself some credit. It was sort of take 50.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. You did at least a 10-minute take on
I
that.
thought it was 20 minutes. It felt
It was
longer.
10. It was about 10 minutes until Neil's back gave in. Yeah.
So that was my funniest moment on set, apart from when
I
I
think-
bumped Sophie's head against the wall when I was carrying her by accident.
Every single time. I can't really say the situation. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but Ren's unconscious and Hunter's carrying her. So obviously when you're unconscious, you're not really aware of things around you, but when your head's being smashed against the wall every time.
Luckily not a
Somebody
brick
else.
wall, a fake wall,
brick wall.
but still, a wall.
She didn't have many lines that day anyway,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Yeah, these two got on really well. We have more, and my phone is being really slow, but hi to Chris Cullen, who played one of Rockanath back in September. He asks how good were the supporting actors on other projects you have worked on, which is an interesting question.
Not as good as you.
Well, yeah, I think, are you vying for that? Are you wanting the guys on Ren were amazing. Like, the guys on Ren were amazing. We had loads of supporting artists come along for most of the shoot because it was all outside, set in Ren's village. Needed a big market and a big there's a big trial that goes on. So we needed a lot of people supporting that. And we were very lucky that we had so many people come along to do that for nothing.
From everywhere as well.
From everywhere.
Yeah.
People came over from Germany and various places and all the way down through the country to come and be extras and supporting artists for us, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much if you're watching. Hello, because seriously, this show wouldn't be anything without you guys. It would just be two lonely people in the thing going, help me, people that aren't there. So yeah, it won't help. So yes, thank you, Chris, and all the other people who are watching who were part of Ren.
Because when we say came over as well, some of them drove from Germany.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Oh,
just a
gosh,
plane
yeah.
ride. They drove all of them in.
Yeah.
And they made cookies. They brought homemade cookies.
They brought cookies.
Thanks,
They were
Anna,
great
if you're
cookies.
watching. Please come back.
Much needed sugar rush.
We've got a
There's some
question
more
here
questions.
from Cody Official. Is that pronounced right?
Yeah.
I can't read very well,
My
sorry.
phone is-
And Cody asks, series looks amazing. Can you see Ren being turned into a play?
a play. I've never actually thought of that because people keep thinking about whether it goes into telly instead of web series and that sort of thing. And we have thought about movie spin-offs and that sort of thing. I have not even thought about a play, but I wouldn't rule it out. I like the idea of Ren growing and sort of becoming this lovely thing, and whether it's the story of these guys or whether it's other stories in the world that we create. So yeah,
The set would be amazing.
A play
I can
would be
imagine this
really
huge
cool.
forest and put it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
that'd be very cool. So yeah, yes, start writing. There's one here which is, do you I've had 1 hour sleep last night. Do you guys enjoy the fight scenes in Ren?
Yes,
That's from Julia.
Julia.
Thanks, that's from Julia. Yeah, exactly. My battery's down to 10%. I'm gonna go plug this in. I'll be back.
Yeah. I didn't have any fight scenes, unfortunately, so I missed out. But did you guys?
Yeah, I didn't really.
It's probably you that had me.
Yeah, it was probably just. Yeah, me
I guess
and Duran.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
just
probably
the
the
behind
bulk
the
of it.
scenes fights.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was vicious.
Yeah, the fight scenes were fun, quite complicated at times, and a lot of the fight scenes we learned on the fly, I would say.
Yeah.
You get to a location, you scout out, you have an idea of what coverage you need, but different days present different challenges. When we're filming the forest fights, it'd been raining a lot, so that puts certain obstacles in the way that you can't use or do things that you expected you could do. So sometimes we'd have 20 minutes, maybe longer, to set a fight up to do that. And it can be quite challenging just to make sure everyone's safe. It looks realistic. It's telling a story, because it's not just a fight. It has to, have a beginning, middle, and end. There has to be a journey. So there's lots of elements there. I think
And the other thing is as well that you would turn up and Ronin, our fight director, the only thing he could be sure of was really if it was a fight with you in it, that you would turn up. But he never really knew how many other people would turn up, so he could have an idea of doing a fight with 200 people fighting you, and that would look epic. But then 2 people turn up, we're like, right, let's scale it down and make it more intense. So it's
choreographed on the spot.
choreographed on the spot. Obviously,
planning,
obviously he had an idea of what he wanted, but then as you said, it had been raining, so it's all mud. Right, that changes certain things. How many other people are in it can change things.
Well, and then such as Hunter has a scene where he uses something else to fight with, let's just say, and our prop broke. We had several versions of this prop, and it broke. So
not enough versions.
in the
clearly.
first rehearsal,
That's true.
Yeah.
It broke very
and
early
who got
on.
blamed? And it wasn't
Who held it? I just say, who held it?
I didn't sort of think about that enough to go, this isn't a fight. Let's buy a lot of them. It was like, we have this one that we've already got. Oh, we broke it already. Okay, we'll change that. It's he breaks it at the beginning of the fight and then fights with the broken thing. That's what we went with. It's totally planned, all in the script.
Nobody would have noticed if we hadn't talked.
There's loads of questions, and now my phone is just about working and I'm losing it. I think Phil said hello. I think Phil Hawkins and Jess and that guys are watching. So hi to you guys. You answered Cody. Nicole Kapara is online.
Hey.
Hi Nicole. Nicole helped make lots of our costumes, and she concentrated her work on the Kanath Master, who is a very important role, who was sort of played by a lot of people, but we don't know who's actually going to play that role too. But you dressed up, various people dressed up. So yeah, that was an amazing costume. Hello. Let me read your tweet. Now you know what a reenactor feels like in costume, but answering questions being me. All right, okay. So Nicole's done that before, so she knows how you guys feel.
I think it's more.
Are you in
the
Cambridge?
surroundings
Is the
as
question.
well,
Yes,
though, isn't it?
we are.
I think for
Don't come to where we
it's
live.
more like the surroundings as well.
That's from Conway.
We have some message. We have quite a few tweets here from Harry. So
Oh yes, I see Harry.
one of them here is, what was your worst and hardest moment on set?
Ooh.
And mine was working with the rest of this cast.
I was
Did
editing
you?
something.
What was the hardest? I don't know.
The
It was
hardest
all-
bit for you is probably being on set on time, because you have
Yeah,
to go
that's
out.
Oh, true.
What, like day one, where we started at 3 in the afternoon?
So my hair's down to my waist and naturally curly, and that would be done and finished in the time that Duran was still perfecting a little ringlet.
There'd often been times that from the back people would get us confused.
That's true. And there's a good question here actually from Billy, who says, if you could describe your characters in one word, what would it be?
Ooh.
I have to go for mysterious.
Ooh, that's really hard. Loyal. I would say loyal for mine.
Loyal.
No, I'm going to say opportunist. I'm just going to get it in there quickly.
Cool.
I'm going to say tough.
Yeah, she's tough.
I think that they're all good descriptions, absolutely. Greetings from Minister, apparently from the Cambridge Dogging Society. Hi guys.
Billy Crab.
Billy Crab, is that someone you know?
Yes, my flatmate.
Oh, there you go. That was the
Also-
describe your character in one.
That was
Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Are
Clean
you?
up your dishes.
Yeah, clean up your dishes.
I've got one here from Sam Elliott. What was your favourite scene?
Oh,
nice.
So what the family is.
Hello, brother.
I'll be home in a few hours.
So what was his
favorite
question?
scene?
We've now got a hashtag shop face.
Oh, really? Nice.
So what was the question from?
Sorry,
Your
yeah.
brother?
What was the question?
Favorite scene. So mine was probably the scene in Wales, to be honest, just because it was beautiful and the set was gorgeous, and we just had a really fun road trip, and
It was an
Yeah,
epic
it was-
journey to get there, and I think that probably what heightened it all, didn't it? It's like, we're here, we can shoot.
We survived. I think for me it was a scene, the opening scene, showing Ren and Khan in Khan's house. Basically because I sort of built that set and we'd been looking at that set for like 2 months or something. It was meant to be the first set to be shot at, so it was the first one that was actually ready to be dressed and shot, and then it ended up being the last. Well, almost the last. So it had taken a long time to sort of looking at this set and imagining what it would be like, and actually it felt incredibly familiar and like home. Really. So when Khan is sort of preparing some fish for Ren to take back to the village, and it just actually felt like my
You've
kitchen.
been there.
Because
Yeah.
you sweated to make that
Yeah,
house,
I
so
built
in a
that
way
whole thing.
you did as
Yeah.
almost as Karan
Yeah.
make that house.
But it just felt incredibly.
It did homemade,
Like that.
but it's one of those places that you could have continued set dressing that forever. There
Yeah.
were so many little knickknacks in there, and every time you're in there, you saw something different, and you could have added to it
Oh yeah.
for days and days. But it was nice saving that till the end, actually, because really it was a shame to have to take the set down.
It really was.
So
I would have loved to have just picked the whole thing up and moved
just
it.
move
to-
it. Yeah.
Into
So
the
into
garden.
my garden,
Yeah.
and
Little
some of
farmhouse
it
in the
is
garden.
in the garden. Actually, there's not much garden left. It's just lots of wood and props and things.
Yeah.
I just noticed a tweet from your brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a tweet here from Chloe who
Oh
worked
yeah,
with us
Chloe. Hi,
saying
Chloe.
thanks for letting her be a part of the production, and we would prefer to thank you. And
Yeah.
honestly, as we were saying
Is
before,
Chloe
without
our broom lady?
Chloe's the broom lady
Yeah,
who's
broom
got
lady.
to smack Duran around with a broom.
Lucky girl.
Well
Yeah.
done, Chloe. Thank you.
without people like Chloe coming and sharing their time with us, we wouldn't be able to do what we need to do. So we
Yeah.
thank you.
And my favourite scene was the crowd scene, and just the amount of people there that would, came because they wanted to help out. It was just incredible, and they really brought the scene to life and made it feel so real. I mean, everyone had their own little job in the market, and it just was incredible.
And they were so patient as
Yeah,
well, because
very
that scene
patient.
took a few days,
Yeah.
didn't it? But people
Yeah.
kept coming back.
Yeah.
It was really great.
Very persistent. We sort of turned wind machines on them at
Mhm.
times, and the sun beating down other times, and
Smoke
rain another
machines and
times. Yeah, kind of crazy, but hopefully.
For me, I would say my favourite scene. I had a scene with Ivan and Richard Roberts.
Oh wow.
Richard Roberts or Richard Highgate.
Scary.
Oh, so
His
Richard
actor name.
Highgate.
Highgate.
What was the rest of the stuff? We can't actually say on
Yeah,
live stream, can
we don't do the nicknames.
Um,
Top and Squish. Squish is okay.
and I had a scene with them, and it must be a 14-second scene from beginning to end. But as far as the translation of the character of Hunter, I felt personally, just shows so much about his personality and who he is and what's important to him, and without thinking what kind of person he is in a moment, what's his first reaction. It was a super short scene, but for me it was like, okay, that's exactly who he is, straight to the heart of it, and that was my favourite scene.
It was quite fun for us too. It was good fun. Julia asked another question, which is, are you planning to come to RingCon in November? I had so much fun with you on the dance floor.
Oh,
very good.
funny.
Oh yeah, Moshia. Is it Moshku? I can't remember. It was there's a kind of there's a Russian song that is really popular in. Were you there? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think you were. I don't know. But it's kind of a Russian song, and it's fun.
So the question about the dance.
Sorry.
And the bloopers.
yeah. What next time? Well, regarding RingCon, I mean, can't guarantee it. We haven't talked to the organisers completely about that yet, but I'm hopeful that we are going to be at RingCon in November. So fingers crossed for that. And if you pester the guys, tell them you want us there, basically. If you want us to come to there and any other convention, we are going to be there. HobbitCon, which is in Bonn in Germany, this coming weekend, it's Easter weekend. We're not personally going to be there, but some of our supporting artists, the guys who came over from Germany, are going to be there, sort of representing us. They're going to be there at least on the Sunday, wandering around in costume or in Ren attire. In our, you should come in, Neil, and show us the t-shirts that they might be wearing. Do it, come here, come, squeeze in. So they might be wearing something like this, which can be purchased from our shop. Hint, hint.
Along with a hoodie.
And a mug.
So
look out for the guys at HobbitCon, an Easter weekend, and hoodie coming in.
There's more.
We should get merchandising out. Yay! Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So check them out. Please go and say hi to them if you spot them. They'll be running around with flyers, and if you're at HobbitCon, you should also see our trailer, a sort of slightly newer looking trailer on the big screens there to show everyone. So yeah, spot them, say hi.
There's a question from Ashley. Ashley Briggs says, "Hi, Waves.
Where's the
If anyone, had a Divas drop on set and why? Really looking forward to Ren."
A Divas
drop.
Oh, that's got to be James.
Oh, I was going to point at you.
Me?
Sorry.
Never.
James was a tearaway, but he inherited that from you because you taught him bad manners.
I think you wound James up as like a big brother type, and then I think it got too far. There was one day where he was just really quite tired, and I think they used to sort of play fight, and I think it got a little bit more than a play fight at that point.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think I might
James might have hit you.
upset him. No, I don't know.
There was lots of Nerf guns on set. Not on set, after set.
Why would
We
you
weren't
let such thing on your set?
No, I didn't.
She
at
bought
all.
them.
I did buy some for evening recreation. But yeah, I don't think anyone really had a proper Divas drop.
Not properly.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
No.
I did a few, but it was sort of after everybody else had left.
Right.
Sort of just standing in a
Just
corner
standing there
going.
Yeah.
But that's all
I
right.
don't think there was. We'll
No.
stage one. In
Yeah.
season two.
Yeah.
There'll be, as the egos get bigger, heads get bigger.
I demand please Smarties.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like egos on my sets, so no, hopefully no big Divas drops on there.
Maybe the real horse that really didn't want to play.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
the real
It
horse.
did have-
Yeah.
it did have-
It did drop off.
That's true. Yes. Oh no, phone's dying again. Anyone else can spot the things, because there's definitely
we've
more.
got Ren board game, yay or nay?
Well, again, just like the play, yay. I think it would
game. Well,
be-
my parents
it's
are toy inventors, so
yeah, we have an in, so
if you'd like one.
yeah, I think we should definitely be
That's a good idea.
getting them
Well-
involved.
There is actually a board game in the show.
That is
The-
true.
There is.
We
Good point.
we've actually invented a game that, and it's in the scene that you mentioned
Yeah.
before with 2 jailers. I can say.
Oh, you
Or
can't say that.
soldiers.
He didn't
They-
say anything there.
No, they're
Nobody
Oh,
ends up in
oh,
jail.
it's
They're just there.
But there are 2 soldiers, and they're playing a board game, and we actually invented it specifically for the show, because we didn't want to have something that looked familiar, or you know, if someone's
Or
playing
wasn't even
chess,
a
you
real
go,
thing,
oh, well, yeah, or someone just going with the dice. So I think the day before, I sort of invented the game, and then Claire
made it.
made it, and it looks really cool. And we're actually looking at probably bringing it out as a game.
Yeah, why not?
Just
Yeah.
doing some PDF stuff on the website that people can download and have a bit of a play.
Or maybe a luxury version in a shop.
yeah, if you want the real thing.
We'll see. But yeah, that would be awesome. And we should possibly at some point, once we've shown people the game, maybe open a competition or something, because we don't actually have a proper name
We
for
haven't
it.
got a name for it.
So at some
Ooh,
point
yeah,
we
that's
might
good.
hold some sort of competition or giveaway or something for the game to name it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so keep reminding us on that
My
one.
mum and dad are old school. They don't have Twitter, but they just text me with a question.
Oh, awesome.
And breaking the rules here. Has Kate got a plot for series 2 in mind if funding becomes available?
Spoilers alert.
There's
Well-
another question that actually
Yeah.
intertwines with that, so
Yeah.
I'll bring that up while. So, similar question from James, which asks about in series 2, is there a set core that's going to happen with that, or is it going to be audience participation and input?
Yeah, okay. That's a good question, actually. So, because when we first started this with the Kickstarter, we said to you guys that we really want audience participation in that sense. It's very hard to do that on a sort of episode by episode basis. Otherwise, we'd have huge gaps between each episode, and we'd have to sort of keep getting everyone together and going back into potential sets and stuff. So what we're planning to do is that we will. We haven't written season 2 yet. That's the first question answered. It hasn't been written. There are ideas in the air for various things that could happen in the long run for Ren, whether it's season 2 or 3 or 4. There are sort of ideas of where we could go with it. Nothing is locked down, and that is the sort of joy of it. We are going to start to sort of put that together, hopefully before season 1 goes out, so that we can be in a stage where we're ready to go with season 2 as soon as possible. And then through after season 1, once you guys start watching that and throwing your sort of thoughts and ideas and comments and things about characters and things that you've seen that you want to know more about and stuff, then we're going to be listening to all of those comments and hopefully starting to incorporate those, if we can, into the story. And same after season 2, as you get to know characters more and more and we'll start to see, just literally from your comments, or we might even start a forum in some way, but we'll be listening to all of your comments regarding the characters and the plot and where you guys think that the story should go.
And sort of where it has been. There's so many questions that you will have at the end of season 1.
Exactly, yeah. That we have, there'll be a lot of things that haven't been answered that the whole point is to then go and find out. So yes, it's very hard to sort of write by committee. So it's not going to be quite like that, but it's very much you guys definitely have a say, and the point is to make something that you guys want to watch. So the more input and the more thoughts that you guys give to us, the better we can make the show work for you guys. So that's kind of the current thinking.
Unless you want to kill us all off, and then
they won't like you very much for that.
Well, there's a question here from the Movie Project.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Shooting in British Columbia in season 3, we have mountains and rain too. Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm game for that.
Is it warmer than here though? That's what
British Columbia. That sounds awesome. I have to say, one of the sort of kind of ambitions for the show would be that we get the chance to actually travel around and shoot different seasons in different places. A little like Game of Thrones get to do by traveling to different areas, you know,
Yes, we're going to
warmer
Malta.
climates.
I
hotter
suggested
climates.
Miami,
We're going to
but-
Iceland to a glacier.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? It all does depend on budget quite a lot. But with season 2, not to give anything really away, we end up leaving the village location, and Ren's chased out of the village essentially. So Ren and Hunter especially end up very much on a journey mission after that, or journey mission, that's not really right, but you know, a quest to, and it becomes a much more of a traveling story essentially. And so we will need to go out and find some amazing locations, and there are limited amounts here in the UK, so the further afield we're able to go, the better. I'm Ed, I probably can't answer the phone for you right now, but yeah, tweet me, text me. It's one of our supporting artists who's probably watching, and that happened last time. My mum tried to call me in the middle of a live stream. Yes, so traveling is definitely an option. We'd love to. So if you help support us with the next seasons, then fingers crossed we'll get to travel around and maybe come to where you live. That would be awesome. I think that would be amazing. Like the guys came over from Germany to be in this season. Maybe we can travel to Germany to be in the next season and wander around. So yeah, fingers crossed. Sorry. Any more questions? You're the question master.
We have
mine's just
LEC here. This is a question we covered earlier.
Okay.
About funniest outtakes.
Any extra ones that weren't mentioned earlier? I'm trying to think about it. I mean, there's loads.
Yeah.
There's moments that were not caught as far as that we're going to be. We're training aspects of me riding bareback of a horse, and the horse decided. As I was speaking to the trainer to bolt and left me there, and I fell on the ground and
he was around. Desperate to see footage of him falling dramatically off this horse, but every time when I usually was filming, so going, oh look, they're thing, every time he fell, it was like, oh my goodness. So I filmed the floor most of the time when you fell off, and
That's
then
true.
came back, and you were like, did you get it? Did you get me falling off? And no, I got the grass because I was panicking.
There was yeah, 3 incidents or so. We tried lots of different horses, and
None of them liked it.
No, none of them liked it.
These unfortunately we didn't have the.
We didn't have film horses.
Yeah, we didn't have film stunt horses, so
They're not used to it.
yeah, horses are very spiritual animals, and they need to, you know, be with someone familiar. And yeah, a long-haired goon on their back probably didn't work for them. And the number of times they tried to buck me off. First couple of times I stayed on because there was a saddle and reins, etc. Which I really wanted to see my rodeo skills, so I was quite disappointed that Kate missed that. And then the time I mentioned there was no saddle, and yeah, I came off quite nicely and had a bruised hip for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Didn't let him back on the horse.
I think some of the things that probably hasn't been really caught but are quite sort of amusing is probably if you had a camera to film all the weird contraptions that were constructed to have the camera on or have Neil on, or in order to film what was filmed. But most of the time we didn't actually film that. There should have been a camera behind the camera.
Yeah, we needed many more behind the scenes cameras.
I remember sort of you trying to, Neil sitting over there, trying to do some tracking shot, and they'd lined up these barrels and chairs.
That is on footage.
Plastic
Yeah, we've got
plastic chairs and planks and stuff like that, and Neil just sort of walking across
On these wobbly chairs.
Yeah,
that was very expensive
very much
black magic camera.
low budget filmmaking.
Yeah, loads of the what was the slide of death?
The death slide.
Yeah, the death slide. That's
on camera as
that's
well.
on camera.
Yeah.
But loads of these sort of contraptions that you have to construct because it's a low budget film and you can't just hire in platforms and stuff like that. It would be sometimes Neil would go, oh, I kind of need to get up to this height, and then I would go back into the workshop and start looking around and go, well, that kind of that height, and if I put 2 pallets together, that on top of a little bit of a wardrobe, yeah, that's kind of it. And then he'll end up on top of that. So
Yeah.
You guys could basically build anything we ever needed. It was brilliant.
yeah.
You're very good at
that was
building
amazing.
anything. You want something, I build it.
But
In a
I have to
minute.
say the hunter trolley was quite fun. I'm not going to give too much detail about it.
Oh,
You know that
Oh,
one,
that
right?
thing.
I don't think that's in the. That's going to end up in it as well.
Oh, really?
Like, but
Okay.
there's a whole. Oh no, that's for the Kickstarter guys. Yeah. What we can say about it, it's not a spoiler really. Basically there was a scene in the script which even when writing it we were like, is this going to work? Because it was like, it's either going to be really cool or really cheesy. I think it went cheesy, but and it's basically hunters being chased around the village, and ends up sort of turning a corner, and there's a stable door that swings open and he has to duck under it. So he ends up kind of sliding on his knees through the mud under the stable door and then leaps up and carries on his way.
We were lacking mud, so we had concrete to work with. So we had to devise a different way of Hunter sliding on his knees
Concrete
without
man.
losing knees.
Yeah.
So we made this bizarre trolley, and
It's
and
made out of the
kneeled on it
slider, I
one
think.
time,
The camera
yeah.
slider.
I kneeled on it one time. I did some sort of weird one-legged squat-looking thing with a rope tied around my leg.
You tied a rope around your leg and I pulled you along under this thing.
Then Chris swung the door open and I had to duck.
We
Yeah.
installed it.
There is video footage of this, and it's not yet live, but unless you're a Kickstarter backer. But yeah, there's some fun footage of that day, so you can look forward to that at some point. But yeah, that was crazy. The things we do. Harry's asked a lot of questions and I haven't answered any yet, so I'll try and answer them more quickly if I can. He's saying, are you planning to use Thunderclap It or at Thunderclap It to get a trending hashtag? Hashtag went live. I don't know about it, but I do now, so we'll look into that and for next time. So definitely. Duran is retweeting things.
There's one here as well from the movie project again.
Yeah.
What was the best?
Who was that one?
Yeah,
who was
yeah,
the best
yeah.
at memorising lines and who was the worst?
I know who the worst was.
I know who the
The
worst
worst was not here, but he totally would know he was the worst. And oh no, see, actually, no, I'm now debating actually between two people.
He wasn't bad at memorising them. He just didn't want to. He just wanted to make it up.
Okay, so we're talking about the same person. Yeah. So this is Nick. Hi Nick, if you
Hi,
actually
Nick.
end up watching this. We're talking about you. Nick fully admitted that he's not great with lines. Like, you know, learning them how they're meant to be. It's like, yeah, I can't paraphrase, you know, you want me to say this, but I kind of say this. And then another take I might say something different, which is always interesting. And so, yeah, Nick was probably not the best at learning his lines. And we, you know,
Nick, a note from editing department. It's not great that every take is different when you have to cut together the stuff. Yeah. Just saying, but okay.
Yeah, we did. There was a lot of both Nick and Richard Zeman both had more lines than they were ever planning to have or thought they would have. Especially poor Richard.
He had a lot.
He in the original script that I sent him, he had a decent amount of lines. He plays Kanath Commander and he does a lot of speaking to the crowd. And in the original script, the Kanath Master did a lot of speaking to the crowd as well. And as we were sort of going through, we actually thought that it would be much nicer if the Kanath Master, who is essentially this masked man, didn't do very much talking, that he was much more mysterious if he actually didn't say anything most of the
It would
time.
be more powerful if he didn't cut.
Exactly. So we started taking all of his lines and giving them to Richard.
Without telling Richard.
So like slowly but surely, it's like, oh
You know,
my,
I've got pages and then-
okay, more and more to learn. And so the poor guy,
And not the easiest.
not the easiest. Lots
No.
of speeches and things.
Lots of
And
names.
It's the thing when it's fantasy though, there's so many things in there that you obviously don't say every day. So to learn
Yeah.
them,
Yeah, so poor Richard did a cracking job, but
And
yeah,
he was poorly.
as soon
as
as
well,
he
was
turned
not
up,
well.
he then got ill very quickly, and sort of was literally thrown into it because he was the only guy not based in the UK, so he came over from Prague to do
See me in
that.
between takes.
And yeah, and just like yeah, so he did a cracking job. But and hello, Richard,
Hi,
if you're
Richard.
watching this.
Hello.
I know you guys, you miss us all, and we miss you too. We'll see you soon.
There's definitely
There's another question here.
Yeah.
Was there anything in the script that had to be re-revised on set for practical purposes?
I don't know about for practical purposes necessarily. I'm trying to think of any for practical purposes, but we did do some revising of the script. One scene I can think of, and we're actually almost revising it again, potentially in the edit even, is a scene I can't really give too much away, but there's a scene between Hunter and Bainan, which is sort of nearest to a cliffhanger of one of our episodes, and we had a scene written a certain way, that was where Hunter was a bit more cocky in the way he reacted, and through stuff that we had already shot and chats that we had about certain things, that is the reason why this conversation happens, meant that actually when we went to shoot it, we shot that version, and then we shot a very different version where Hunter's character is is very different, plays it a very different way. And it's something we're still playing with in the edit as well, of sort of tweaking it. So it wasn't for a practical reason, it was for a character reason and for a story reason of, you know, what's the best reaction that this character can have, what's the most appealing for the audience.
I think what was the most truthful as well. What was for me playing the character, what was tangible and what could I make just logical sense in my own brain through the relationship with this young man and other instances. I find that sometimes you'll find different moments and because of the collaboration within Ren, Kate and Chris are very open to the ideas of discussing things, and I bombarded them with lots of questions.
Too many questions.
Yeah, and sometimes Kate was pulling her hair out. But I'm like, how about this and how about this and this? And
But it's back to what we were saying before, that you'll have so many questions at the end of season 1 because there's so much backstory, and we only really touched on it in season 1, isn't it? And there's so much that some characters know, some characters don't. So again, it's knowing how much Hunter knew at that point,
Exactly.
and working out the logistics of all of that. And
because it's all about discovery. I mean, the whole point is that Ren's discovering things as we go along, and we as the audience are discovering it with her. So, so there are things that we have written regarding backstory and stuff that you guys have helped with as we sort of developed it, and things and stuff that as we were going along, we wrote some flashback scenes, for example, during the shoots that we filmed one flashback scene that influenced certain characters, and so those things were developed, and it's like, well, what do we give out now? What do we hold back? And the joy of a series is that we can discover things as we go along. We don't have to know everything, because it's lovely to sort of discover little surprises and go, actually, what if this character had this? Or there's very little we know about the Hunter character completely. We've discussed it and things, but there are so many more things that we can discover as we go along, and you guys can discover as you watch. So that's kind of cool.
There's a question here from Harry.
Oh yeah, there's still other questions I haven't
This is
answered.
really?
Sorry, Harry.
No, this
Harry.
is a different Harry.
Not just Harry.
Did you ever use drones whilst filming?
Yes.
Say drugs or something.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
lots of drugs, no drugs.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did use drones. Only
Mainly in Wales.
yes,
On
we
location.
tried. We didn't use them loads. Because one reason being that we were only using a small drone that takes a GoPro, and the cameras we were using were Blackmagic, and they aren't completely the same. I mean, Neil's probably better answering this than I am, but they're not the same camera, so the look is slightly different, and you have to sort of do a certain amount of work in the grade. But we did want to use some of it because it's so lovely we didn't have any big crane shots and things like that, and you want those sort of things, really. You want some moving camera and things. So yeah, when we in Wales we did have a go, but we struggled with our technology at that point.
Well, we were relying on light as well, and we were losing the light, so we had to get the shot. But then the technology wasn't working, so we couldn't. Well,
we
couldn't
shot
see the image
something,
whilst
yeah.
it was going. So we said we're just gonna have to go with it and hope. And then he got it back, and he said, "Yeah, it's facing the wrong way."
I think it was chopping your heads off. It's like, damn. So yeah, we were trying to get a nice shot on the waterfall. We didn't manage it. Yeah, we used it in Epping Forest for a chase sequence, and yeah, it would have been lovely to use it some more. But we did some great shots, trying to sort of sweeping up and sort of looking down on all our Kanath soldiers running through the forest. And I think the shot we're using is actually quite a low shot because it adds lovely speed to our things. So people are running towards camera and the camera is flying towards them. And I think it's a great shot and I'd love more of it. But yeah, it's not easy to do on a tight budget, on a tight schedule. Sometimes you have to go, oh, that shot would be great, but we need to just move on. So yeah, but we did. So yes. I waffle.
That one?
Which one's that one?
So the other Harry.
Yeah, the other Harry
Can
keeps
we
us.
answer one of the other Harrys?
This is just Harry. That's just Harry.
Cool.
He's asking a couple of questions. So, are you working with any big companies on Ren? Not so far. Apart from, I mean, it depends. I suppose what you class, because we got a lot of help from Black Magic because we were using Black Magic cameras, and they were very helpful with us when we were having problems with cameras. Had to send cameras back to them, and they would send us a replacement so that we could keep shooting, which was amazing. And I mean, there were companies that we hired props from, things like that. Anything else I'm forgetting that we should do? Oh, I should mention people like Norton Armories. John at Norton Armories is a star. We've worked with him before. He helped out on Born of Hope, and he's wonderful and a great friend. And he helped us with all our Kanath armor. So all our Kanath uniforms were made from scratch, but the sort of armor that we were using, the arm guards, the helmets, and those sort of things, they were all supplied by John at Norton Armories. So thank you, John, and thank you, Norton Armories. We also bought a number of costumes actually from Shed 11 in New Zealand, of all places. So some of our boots that you see on our Kanath and our various characters you guys are wearing were possibly used in Legend of the Seeker before they were used in this. Nice. So that's that. There's one other from Harry, if I can get to it. Can't. I think it was something about directing. Can't see it.
What are you planning on directing in the future?
Something like that. Yes. What are your plans for future directing? Not quite sure what the question is. Yeah, if you're talking about with Ren, I am not sure if I'm going to carry on directing all of the different seasons. We'll sort of see. I'm kind of open to the opportunity that, a bit like TV shows, that there might be other directors who come in and do different seasons or different episodes. We'll sort of see. So that's an option. Regarding other things, I still try directing. So yeah, maybe I'd like to do a feature, like a fantasy feature, either a Ren-related one or a slightly different one. But yeah, other than that, Ren takes over my life. So we'll see about that.
There's a cool one from Exilian, who did say poke. He didn't answer the first question. Sorry about that.
What's the first question? We'll find the search.
The second one is
To
which.
invite us to their convention.
They wanted to invite us to a convention.
Mm.
Then yes. Where is it? And fly us there. So,
The question was, which of you would go for the opportunity to swap lives with your character? That's such a cool question.
Ooh,
I like that one.
Me.
Khan is a cool character.
I think I would. If Ren could wear trousers, that skirt's so hard to run in.
You run it so well too. It looks awesome. But yeah, maybe in season 2.
I
Not
think
to
so.
cut anyone
Yeah.
short, but just the clock. We have actually.
We
got
have
to 9
hit
o'clock.
9.
Wow.
But I want to keep going.
Go.
We can go live as long as we want.
We've got 8 hours, haven't
We'll be
we?
here all night. We'll set up camp, sleeping bags.
It depends. These guys have to go back to London. So do you want to keep going for a little bit?
Yeah, well, I think the character thing is quite interesting as far as I'm concerned. I find that's the case whenever you read material and something interests you. There's a part of yourself that you choose to explore. So playing Hunter, playing Ren, playing Dahlia, Khan, we get to experience part of that life. Probably a romanticized version of it because they probably didn't have toothbrushes or proper washing facilities, etc., etc. So some of that's to be considered.
But that said, as the character, they didn't know what those things were anyway, so they don't know what they're missing, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
I guess that works.
We'll go with that.
And well, you guys are gonna have to stop me because I could just chat all night with you guys. It's so nice to
Nobody
get
will be watching
people
interacting.
But, yeah. Lydia asks, will we be meeting new key characters in season 2? And is the plan to go bigger, better, and even more epic?
Epic. I like that.
Yes, is kind of the answer to all of that. Really, there definitely will be new characters. Yeah, yeah. So Michelle, this has been mentioned. So
Someone's just saying
my Harry Potter style. So yes, we will be meeting new characters. Obviously, as we haven't written season 2 yet, we haven't come up with those, but we have an idea of the sort of characters that we're going to meet and who they're sort of related to and that sort of thing. And we'd love to go bigger and better and more epic. It all comes down to money.
I want to ride a horse.
Yeah, well, you don't want to ride a horse.
Right, yeah.
A real one? You've heard the stories, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe not.
We've got one here from Chris Taylor.
Yes. Hi, Chris.
Hey,
It's Chris.
Christina.
Chris Taylor, in theory, if that's the right Chris Taylor, is one of our visual effects artists
Yeah.
who is helping to create the amazing effects in Ren.
And Chris says, admires Chris's hard work set building, labor of love or necessary. Will he get creative again in season 2 or prefer ready-made locations?
Ready-made locations, basically.
It's yeah.
It was well, it was kind of out of necessity, I suppose, in the sense that we were talking about filming on location, but looking at proper locations and what it would have cost us to do that compared to some very specific sets that we could build, that we basically built the sets that would fit the story instead of trying to fit the story into some pre-existing. So necessity, yeah, but definitely a labor of love. Spent what, 2.5 months building, constantly building during taking as well. Lost 2 stone.
Rebuilding.
So yeah, a rebuilding
and great weight loss plan.
Yeah.
If you guys want to,
I'm bringing out the fitness video.
Yeah,
based on
called
this
building
one.
a Ren set.
Yeah.
10 easy steps.
Yeah.
The Exilian question actually was on that note. How do we invite you guys to our convention? Well, basically contact us on the website rentheseries.com. There is a contact details there, but essentially it's just write to producer@rentheseries.com and invite us. It's that simple. So yeah, just send us an email or DM us on Twitter or whatever, but yeah, just get in touch, basically. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Harry again. Hi, just Harry. You are on it. How many views do you hope to get on Ren? Who wants to answer this? Because I've got some ideas. Okay, say it's on YouTube. How many views do you want to get? Born of Hope has got 30 million views on YouTube, but that's over 6 years and it's a Lord of the Rings thing.
It's actually 31 now.
Yeah. Over 30.
Over.
I personally, Neil had an idea of this one, which was actually more ambitious than mine. I would love us to hit 500,000 views, not necessarily straight away, but that's a pretty high number for a web show. That would be pretty awesome. If we got more than that, oh my goodness.
Is that in the first day, the first week?
Yeah.
Is that the first episode, or is that all the episodes? Or you need to quantify that.
I'm sorry. Okay, so on the first, because to sort of give an idea of what, have I already said this? Stop me if I have. Our idea, oh no, I was talking earlier. Right, sorry, 1 hour sleep, remember. We're planning to release Ren as a binge watch thing. I think that's the thing at the moment. And although we're doing 5 episodes, it's going to be released on one day. And
So you're all calling in sick at work.
yeah.
Day in bed.
Neil has just told me to say the release date.
Drum roll.
Oh God, pressure! I know. See, as soon as I say this, then it's locked in stone. Basically, the plan is the 3rd of July this year, 2015. So Friday the 3rd. Save it in the diary because we want your entire evening. Because we are planning to do a live stream with the release of Ren and giveaways and showing blooper reels and loads of cool stuff is going to happen that night. So that's the big plan. And I've forgotten the original question.
Well, we must say hello to Ash.
Hi, Ash.
He sneakily just sent me a cheeky text message.
Hi, Ash. Oh.
And Patrick has a question.
Yeah.
What are your favourite fantasy books or authors?
Ooh.
I have not read as many as I would like to have read. I'm really bad at sort of getting myself hooked onto a book. I get distracted by other things far too much. I want to read more of the Game of Thrones books. I've read the first one.
Novels.
And I very much enjoyed the Pern books, Anne McCaffrey's sort of Dragon Riders of Pern, which I think is eventually going to be made into a movie at some point. But and I'd love to read more of those because I thought they were great. But yeah, there's so many out there. It's incredible. Lord of the Rings, I suppose. I should probably say that.
Just those.
Forge Studios.
Hey guys. Hey, Ron.
A film is made, writing, filming, editing. Which changes whilst filming that you didn't really foresee whilst filming? What changed?
What changed while filming? Oh, what did change while filming? There was I'm sure there was stuff. I'm trying to. I think it's regarding the script, like what changed. It's like because basically I think his question is essentially that films are made or things are made 3 times. You write a script and that's one thing. You film something and it's often different, and then you edit it and it's often different again. So we wrote these flashback scenes that were written during the filming. We wrote another scene that involved Khan and Hunter, which was written during filming. And I'm trying to think. My brain has stopped working, so I can't.
Okay, there's another from Forge Studios. What's the distribution plan for now?
For now, we are still looking at YouTube on the Mythica this channel. So subscribe if you want to. That would be amazing. We're going to release it here on this channel. But we are not ruling out the idea that there are other potential distribution platforms for us, like Netflix or Amazon maybe, or any other sort of maybe pay-per-view platforms and things. But we love the idea that everyone and anyone can watch the series. So the idea is live YouTube. Because everyone can watch it. Basically. 3rd of July has gone in past people's diaries.
Yeah, we see that.
Right, there must be more board game thing. Oh, we have a board game name.
Oh.
Canasta. I think that's from Michael.
That's from Michael.
That's from one of our executive producers, Michael. Hi, Michael. He's obviously watching. There's some suggestions for fantasy books. Thank you, guys. I will add them to my list of many fantasy books I need to read. All right.
Movie Project's gonna forward us a recce video of good location spots in BC.
Cool. Excellent. Sounds amazing. hopefully there'll be a nice convention there that we can come to and then scout. Just suggesting. Julia has forests and fields in her front of her door. Someone else, Raphael, asking when's the premiere. Well, I've kind of just said it.
To clarify, that's the 3rd of July.
Chris Taylor, if you're still watching, hurry up, we need to get going. I'm behind on my Twitter. Anyone up to date?
I think that was the last.
Have you thought about writing a role for Tommy Crapswells? I can't say it. In your next season, Julia? No, I'm gonna go Google him and then we'll see. I probably should know who they are. I'm gonna get a slap wrist or something.
This is who he is. I don't know. Recognize him?
Oh, I know who you mean, Julia. Okay, yeah, guy from we met him at HobbyCon, and know exactly who you mean. Yeah, think about it. Have we caught up on all the questions?
I think so.
Maybe we have.
Maybe this is a good time
possibly
to
missed some people, but
Yeah, on Facebook.
that's true. We haven't checked Facebook, but we should probably sign off there because we've gone longer than we were planning to. But it's great that you guys wanted to ask us all those questions and interact, which is amazing because, yeah, it's great to have your feedback. So we will try and do it again at some point when we can try and get some of the guys together, which would be really nice. And for now, keep watching the videos here on the YouTube channel every Thursday. Yeah, spread the word, please. Like, Twitter and Facebook and subscribe and things, and we'll get back to work because we've got to get to the 3rd of July. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Keep waving.